Everybody knows the best-selling vehicle in Australia is actually a ute. But did you know that in the UK in 2021 and 2022, the best-selling vehicle was this, the Ford Transit Custom. Now there's the all-new 5th generation Transit, and this Custom is targeting the Hyundai Staria and the evergreen Toyota HiAce. It's got premium engineering, but also premium pricing. My name is Byron Mathioudakis for CarsGuide.com.au, and I'm here to find out whether this is worth the extra money. Let's go. To understand why critics and customers alike love the Transit, you've got to keep in mind that the 1965 original broke the mold with its car-like performance, safety, handling and packaging. You could say that it was a true original, a lot like this. So, how much does the real thing cost? In Australian dealers right now, Transit Custom prices kick off from a hefty $56,590 before road costs. But there are plenty of features as well as real innovations to help justify the 10% premium over, say, a Toyota HiAce, including winning the 2024 International Van of the Year award. Available in standard trend short wheelbase and optional trend long wheelbase styles for an extra $1,000. Both versions include seating for 3 people, or 2 and a dog, up front, climate control, a 12-inch digital instrument cluster, Swish 13-inch central touchscreen offering the excellent Sync 4 multimedia system with a reverse camera, sat-nav, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and a digital radio, as well as the new Ford Pass app for remote vehicle info and data access. Perfect for small businesses, as are the tons of dash and underseat storage and shelving for your work gear, handy load-through feature under the passenger seats for really long items, LED load space lights that are almost brighter than the sun, a molded load floor liner, floor-to-ceiling load area protection and integrated roof racks. Plus, a host of driver assist safety like autonomous emergency braking, lane keep support systems and adaptive cruise control are also included. And if you watch down to the safety section below, you'll see why the Transit Custom also won Euro NCAP's highest ever van crash test rating. Now that's what I call an OH and yes. 7 decades of continuous van evolution means that for the latest version, Ford reckons it designed and engineered the Transit Custom to be easier to spend long hours in. New steps improve load compartment access, while the front wheels have been pushed out forward for reduced overhangs to make parking easier. Additionally, a host of work and play related options are available. And finally, the popular Sport Grade returns as a $3,400 2-seat short wheelbase option, as well as in new double cab 5-seat long wheelbase configuration with a fixed middle bench seat and starting from $62,990 before on-road costs. So not to scare off all those customers over the last 59 years, the shape pretty much stays the same as before, although proportionally it's changed. It's got a longer wheelbase, a far more aerodynamic body, but they've kept the 2.1 maximum height restriction, so you don't get stuck trying to get it in and out of car parks. Don't you think these look like the 1965 Transit original? But I digress. And around the back, they've made the apertures larger. Oh wow, I didn't know I did that. And the floor is lower, so it's easier to load, while underneath here, there's an independent rear suspension system, and that pays dividends in terms of ride and handling, and I'll get to that a bit later. It's also 100 kilograms lighter than before, promising improved efficiency as well as dynamic performance. Did I say the chassis is up to 30% stiffer? All in all, Ford's really worked hard to make this a class-leading mid-size van, so the Transit Custom can stay on top of the class. Anyway, let's check out the interior. Now, the heart of the Transit Custom is its cabin, because people spend like their whole day in this vehicle, and Ford recognises that. They reckon they spoke to hundreds of previous owners and they put it all together in a little think tank machine and came up with this interior. The dashboard is contemporary with the prerequisite large touchscreen that's angled towards the driver. The basics like the ventilation, the driving position, storage is excellent. even underneath these rather flimsy, I've got to say, cushions, you've got heaps of space to put stuff down there. And there are USB ports where you can use them, such as in the automatic version, they're right here. Cup holders on the side as well as in the center. And because Ford moved the passenger airbag from in front of the driver above the passenger, in front of the passenger to the roof up here, you get two glove boxes, one down there, which is a reasonably sized one, and an extra one up there, and that's really deep. So Ford's listened to its packaging gurus and have come up with something quite practical and actually quite extraordinary. There's storage also behind there. So I'm sat here, vision out is great, large mirrors, deep windows, easy access to controls, quite an intuitive touch screen. I jumped straight into this car and I could figure my way out using the GPS as well as the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as the audio system. Heated seat functionality and other vehicle settings are also quite intuitively found in here. Excellent driving position, lots of adjustability for the steering wheel, the seats, and of course room for 3 people. And of course you get a standard rear bulkhead to keep the noise and all your cargo separated from the passenger compartment. So it really works in here. It's easy, comfortable, and refined. Again, justifying the 10% or so premium that Ford charges compared to, say, the HiAce or Staria we mentioned earlier. Sadly, Ford reckons that Australians aren't quite ready for the plug-in hybrid electric version with a petrol engine that is offered overseas. So for now, our only lot with the Transit Custom is this, the 2-litre turbo diesel that Ford laughably calls Eco Blue. The newcomer delivers 125 kilowatts of power and 390 Nm of torque to the front wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. 4 driving modes are offered: normal, eco, slippery and tow/haul, with the latter useful for the van's 2500 brake towing capacity. As mentioned earlier, the leaf-sprung front end is now paired with a semi-trailing independent rear suspension system out back to help deliver more car-like driving dynamics. Now, on paper, that newfound weight loss and extra aerodynamics translates to better real-world fuel economy, even if it's from the dirty black diesel Bowser. Ford says the Transit Custom should average around 8 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle, which translates to a WLTP figure of 209 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide emissions. Driven hard on German roads, we managed around 11 litres per 100 kilometres, which means the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle version offered elsewhere in the world can't come soon enough, since that has an official combined average of around 2 litres per 100 kilometres. Come on Ford, what are you waiting for? Alright, I'm behind the wheel of the 5th generation Transit, or the 2nd generation Transit Custom, as the mid-size sedan's concerned. And if there's one thing that Transits have always done well, and that is they've driven well. Even the diesel engine, the Eco Blue that's in this car, you know, it's been not bad. Like it's been around for a long time. It always has had enough pull and response to, you know, to cut the mustard, as they say, from a performance perspective. In this application, it seems to be a bit quieter than maybe in the old one. It could just be these unfamiliar roads, but it does the job well enough. And, you know, until we get more electrification, such as the PHEV, this is the vehicle that the vast majority of Transit Custom buyers will buy. Where the Transit has really improved over its already excellent predecessor is in its dynamic capabilities. Now, by that I mean the way it steers, corners and handles, I feel a next level for a van. And the same goes with the ride comfort. Now, vans tend to be a little bit uncomfortable in the suspension because they have to have these leaf spring rear suspension systems in order to handle the big loads, and that makes sense. But for this generation Transit, Ford has put in an independent rear suspension system, as I mentioned earlier, and it's really noticeable. It's absolutely been felt in the way it traverses potholes and speed humps and that sort of thing. I guess you could say that the best got better in that regard. It's punchy enough being a diesel, it rides well, the transmission is a good match, I think, and it's got a fairly decent amount of load in the back in order to simulate, weight rather, to simulate a load, and it's fine. It honestly drives something akin to a car, and you're not going to drive this and think, oh, it's drudgery. You'll probably drive this and think, gee, if vans have become this good, then I'd consider one. And that has always, I think, been the crux of the Transit. Over its 59-year history, a Transit, and particularly a Transit Custom like this, is an involving and rewarding car to drive, while still being able to do all its jobs, as it were. Like, it was designed to be a workhorse first, but it does things so much more. So, well done, Ford. I think the Transit pretty much maintains and pushes out the boundaries and the standards for mid-size vans. Now, Ford hasn't messed around with safety in the new Transit Custom, with it scoring a 5-star platinum rating with Euro NCAP. That's pretty impressive. Don't forget, you can read my full review on the Transit Custom at carsguide.com.au. It includes 6 airbags along with AEB, collision warning tech, lane keep assist, blind spot warning, and adaptive cruise control. Ford is also keen to keep your comparatively expensive van investment secure in terms of service and warranty. The Transit Custom comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, as well as 7 years of conditional roadside assistance. And service intervals are every 12 months or 30,000 kilometres, whichever comes first. Finally, there's also fixed price servicing outlined on the company's website. I reckon one of the world's best vans just got a whole lot better. It shows how important this car is to Ford because, as this thing proves, it rides, steers, handles and accommodates pretty much like no other van can. I understand why the Ranger is Australia's best-selling ute, but I can also see why the rest of the world loves the Transit Custom. Don't forget, you can read my full review at carsguide.com.au, and as always, thanks for watching.